I'm not in that school of thoughts of empathy. People showing, feeling, putting themselves in my shoes or feeling for me. You don't feel for me. When you're having the first relationship, when you're in your relationship the first time, were they there with you? When it was sweet, I've been hurt emotionally. It's a pain I have to go through.
Is it not necessary for you to heal? That's just my point here.
Okay.
We heard of Two-Face, Idibia, Annie Idibia's issue, and before you could say Jack Robinson, Annie Idibia seems to have come out strong, and everybody is like, she has come out strong. But to me, I don't see that as healing. She hasn't healed. Let's not deceive ourselves. Healing takes time. Hi guys, you're welcome to another episode of TalkToMo. As always, I am Irene, and I also have Emmy Smart here.
Hi everyone.
This show is probably sponsored by Sky Media, and today we are talking about something that seems underrated, which is healing while functioning. It's something that has really hit deep into so many of us, and hence the reason why we want to talk about it. So, what does it mean to heal while striving? Trust me, healing while striving is something that many of us overlook. When you have gone through some downside or downtime in life, or you are being broken, while you still have to show up for work or you have to perform, people take that for healing. So, Emmy Smart, what do you think about situations like that?
Okay, just as you said, you just said healing while functioning.
Yeah.
Okay, I will start with this Yoruba adage that says "Amasuku, Amariran." So what that implies is, if you are crying, you are seeing. So the fact I'm crying does not mean I'm not seeing.
Wow.
So if I'm crying and I'm not seeing is a big problem.
Okay.
So what that implies is, yes, I'm crying. I must eat. I'm crying. I must watch TV. I'm crying. Life still goes on. Even if life have taken me down, the fact life have taken me down does not mean that I'm down totally. Yeah, life happens, but we still move on. Yeah, the fact emotionally I'm being hurt, and I'm trying to heal, being healed from my wound emotionally. I must still go to work. I must still meet with my friends. I must still go to church. I must still eat. I must still visit friends. I must still do the normal things I'm doing. So the fact life has hit me does not mean I will just go to one place and just
start crying.
All my life. I will now be there. I'll just be lonely. I'll be in a state of comatose. So I don't have to go to that extent.
But it does not necessarily mean that we are not saying go and isolate yourself and cry yourself to death. No one is saying that. But what we are saying here is healing while you still have to work, while showing up. Because what we get these days is we see you try to put on a very tough skin, like nothing ever happened. Or sometimes we just have some funny motivational speakers that come around to tell you, Shana, because of Yinka, now you won't kill yourself. Shana, because of Emmy Smart, that's why you want to crucify. The world has not ended though. Emmy Smart has moved on. Oh. You have to move on and all of that. So because of that, you just like, okay, and what you see next, the person will just crash.
Okay, you know what? There's one thing that's inevitable that cannot be taken. Yes, I've been hurt emotionally. It is a must that, man, I've gone through that pain. It's a pain I have to go through. You understand? Emotionally, it affects me. That for some time, I'll not be able to do anything. I'm trying to pack my life. I'm like in a trauma, thinking about what has happened. Just as I have said that we don't have to go We don't have to be in the state of incommunicado. We don't have to put ourselves in that state.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, yes, I've been hot. I've been down. Yeah, for some time. For some time. But the trauma that is, I need to move on. Because the fact I've been hot, I won't go and tell my boss in my place of work that, sir, because I've been hot, I
Okay.
need to take some time off work.
No.
Man, I'll be sacked.
Not
And when I'm being sacked, man, where
not
how do I
necessarily.
eat?
I'm not necessarily saying take your time off work, but where comes the place of healing? Is it not necessary for you to heal? That's just my point here.
Okay.
I have to say this because recently we heard of Two-Face, Idibia, Annie Idibia's issue. And before you could say Jack Robinson, Annie Idibia seems to have come out strong. And everybody is like, she has come out strong. But to me, I don't see that as healing. She hasn't healed. Let's not deceive ourselves. She might be showing up for work, but she has not healed. You see that pain is still there. Where is the place of healing? How will this healing now take place?
Okay, I think for me, from my own perspective, I feel what she's doing currently is one. I didn't say is one of the way of being healed emotionally. Is one of the ways, one of the therapies, because it's like as you are going out, you are meeting people, you are talking to
Okay.
people. Because one of the therapies, one of the therapies is you not being lonely.
Okay.
You come out, you communicate with people. As you are communicating with people, you are in a way relieving yourself from that pain.
Okay.
As you are communicating with people, you are, even at times you would even suggest to you go and watch all these movies and this all these jokes. Our guys make not that we tell laugh and the rest of them like that.
Yeah.
You go watch them. As you are watching those things, like that's for me. That's one of my therapy. I do watch all these comedies. I buy them. I watch them.
Okay.
In a way, these comedies they relieve pains. They relieve stress. They relieve from stress. As you are watching those things, you are laughing. It's relieving you from those emotional stress, and you are communicating with people, talking to them. As I'm talking to them, they are cracking jokes and all those things. As you guys are doing those things, is in a way relieving you from those pains. And even who knows? I'm not saying it's immediately, but as you are communicating with people, as you are going out, probably she's going to club, meet guys. We never know. Probably as she goes to club.
But you know that is just a short-term approach
Okay.
to it. Yes, because healing takes time.
Okay.
Healing is a process. Healing comes in stages.
Okay.
It is not a rocket science.
Okay.
It's not something that you just grab. Oh, healing, where are you? Come here, Pakam. You don't do that, especially when you are emotionally hot. Because emotions, you don't toy with emotions. From there, you start thinking a whole lot of things. And if care is not taken, you can lose your mind. Fine, these friends comes around, they talk you out of your moment. What about the moment where the friends are not there? Then what happens? That is when the emotions, that is when the hurt hits deep inside of you. That is when you feel the pain of the hurt, the pain of the wounds that you are being left with. So that is why you need time, you need therapy, most especially therapy. See, I was in that situation at a time. I was deeply hurt, and I actually thought that I have come out of the hurt because I needed to go to work. I had clients that we were having meetings on a regular basis every morning, most especially every Mondays. I had to map out my strategy for the week.
Okay.
The clients I'm going to see,
Okay.
and all of that.
Okay.
Then if I have to go to the embassy, I will have to do all of that. I have to put that in line.
Okay.
Because I was doing all of that, I found out that I was so busy that people actually thought I had outgrown the pain. But you know that many a times, weekends, when I don't go to work, when I'm at home, I found out that my life is so boring. It is from work from home to the office, back home, church. I was living a very stereotyped life. I was not asking myself at this time, is this what's supposed to be happening to me? Am I supposed to be here? I found out that these pains start coming in. But to the outside world, a lot of people just look at me and they said, I have moved on. I have moved on because I have to show up for work. The society will give you their own parts. And because you want to meet up with social status and all of that, you don't want people or you don't want to look like what you're actually going through. Then with that, one will think you have actually healed.
Okay, just like the word you use, you just said it's a process. And if it's a process, fine, the world should not detect what if I've gone through it or if I'm being healed from it or not. The world should not the world should not determine who I am, or they should not be the one to tell if I've been healed or not. Just like Banky W, when Banky divorced his wife, it's just
No,
Banky
it's
also
not
just
Banky. It's not Banky. That should be Basket
sorry,
Mouth. Sorry.
basket mouth, right? But he said nobody should say anything about it. You understand? That it's personal. So what I'm trying to bring out is you know yourself. Fine, whether they say you've gone through, you've overcome it, or you've gone through it, whatever they want to say, it's their own business. But you yourself, you know that I've not gone through the process, right? And I'm still going through it. But that does not still stop you from doing whatever you're doing. So for me, I feel I fine, even if I'm going through my heart, I'll still do whatever I'm doing, go to church, visit my friends, go to work, do all I'm doing. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not just saying it like maybe I watched it from a movie or I'm reading from a book. I'm saying it based on experience. It has happened to me. You understand? So I'm saying based on my own experience and how I was able to manage it and how I was able to overcome it. One of the therapy that helped me was my Bible. The Word of God is one of the strongest therapy. Yeah, I was going through this trauma. I was going through these pains. I made the Word of God my friend. I study my Bible every day. I pray. I go to church. I do my normal things in church, serve my God, do all I need to do, go to work, visit my friends. As I was doing those things, gradually, I was being healed, even unconsciously. To me, unconsciously, because I was just being healed, and I didn't even know I was healed. You understand? So it will happen. You won't be like unconscious. You should be seeing it going gradually till it vanish, that you will start thinking of it. The next thing is you're thinking of the next
Line
item.
of action.
Thank you. The next line of action, because that is your past. All those things they've gone. You're not even thinking of them again. Why? Because you went through this. You went through the process, and now you're on the next stage of life. You understand? So that is why we don't need to start thinking of those past. We just need to do necessary things. Just stick to your Bible. Just one of those. That was just one of my
Wow.
remedy.
Mr. Emma, I am not against the Bible. Neither am I against prayer. There is always a place of prayer. There is always a place of the word of God. But when it comes to the things of the heart, I am very careful not to be overly spiritually minded, because trust me, prayer does work. I'm not saying prayer doesn't work. At least it helps me, and it has helped me so many times. But what I am trying to say here is yours worked for you, right? That is you. And we are having a whole lot of people. See, if you turn right, left, center, everywhere you see today, there are a whole lot happening to marriages, relationship, and many people are venting their grudges of their past relationship on either the society or the next person next door. Because if you see, have you listened to a whole lot of young ladies talk today? They talk with so much pain. They talk with so much heartbreak to tell you that they have not healed. They are just mounting their guard, waiting for the next person that is going to eat off that anger that they've built so much in their hearts. That is what we see. It is not healing. It is not moving on. It is a grudge that you have still kept somewhere and you are ready to unleash it on the next person. Okay, I want you to also see this part of Yule Doche and May Edoche.
Okay.
Immediately that breakout, be the breakup or whatever, May Edoche seems to rapidly grew stronger. We started seeing more of her on social media. She started having lots of endorsements that never happened when she was with her husband. And many of us took that for she has become stronger without the man. She has become this without the man, forgetting that there are children in this marriage that she can never outgrow. Even if she come out of the pain, she cannot come out of the pain of I had children for this man. And there is this thing that we do. There is this thing the society does to us that I am strongly against. They will just be like, try to force you into becoming what you are not overnight. He has moved on with another woman, and you have to move on as well. See, fine, you will move on. But will you move on from him being the father of your children? So that is why, first, to start off with healing, you must forgive. I'm not saying that you should forget. It's not something that you can forget. But first, you have to forgive both parties, both yourself. You have to forgive yourself and forgive the party involved.
Okay.
Then by the time you are forgiving, that is even when you can even look at those children and be happy that though we are no longer together, because take it or leave it, there were good times in that relationship.
Yeah.
Though things happened, but there are good times that you can even reminisce on. And when you think of those good times, it forms this good memory for you to want to reflect on.
Okay.
And there are times for reflections, so that you have to reflect, take back, as in go back into your shell, reflect on the things that you have done, the things that you overlooked. Because trust me, for me, I want to learn from my mistake. I want my experience to be my best teacher.
Okay.
But many a times, what we'll find is our experience, they don't end up being our teacher, because we want to hurriedly move on. We want to wear this tough skin to show to our partners, or to your ex, that you have actually moved on. Meanwhile, you have not moved on. It was just a show. A show to your ex that you have moved on. That you are becoming successful does not mean that the heartbreak, the emotions is healed already.
Okay.
Success is fine. I see success as one of the best form of revenge.
Okay.
To me, I see success as that. But that does still not take away the place of healing, whereby you go for therapy, whereby you go back in time. It is very important that you take some reasonable amount of time for yourself.
Okay.
Look back in time. If you need to go for therapies, many of us cannot really afford professional therapists to take us through that series of reflection and all of that. But we have people around us that have our good interest at heart, that want us to feel okay, that will be comfortable to talk about all of our down times with, that when we talk about them, we can come out of it. You read books, watch movies, and all of that. But what we see these days is we just want to hurry out of that depression or out of that emotions pretending that all is fine.
Okay, I think for me, just to add to what you said, and I would suggest one of the therapies could listen to good music.
Okay.
It's one of the therapies that heals faster.
Yeah.
Listen to good music, and also you relocation. I feel relocation might plays a very vital role.
Really?
Yeah, relocate because as long as you're in that area, you've seen that person. Probably you are seen in that same house where that incident happened. You're seeing the friends that he was with, or the friends that
You're still
they're
in
probably
the same hood.
in the same hood. In a way, psychologically, it affects you.
Yeah.
You understand? But so once you leave that place, that environment, everything about the person is gone. You're not thinking about the environment, the house you guys stay together, all those things. You just locate to a different place where you have comfort, at least in a way. It will relieve you from such. That's one of the healing therapy I feel could work for you. And also reading books also, and watching movies like all these comedies, watching comedies, all those watching comedies, they play very vital role in one of the healing process. And also the people, I feel you just said something about talking to people that will show empathy on you. The truth about that is this: you don't empathy. See, for me, I'm not in that school of thoughts of empathy. People showing, feeling, putting themselves in my shoes, or feeling for me. You don't feel for me. Whatever I've gone through, it's my cross I need to carry. I've carried that cross, okay? And I'll go through that cross myself. I don't need somebody, because the truth matter is, once you try to start finding these people that just empathize us, that want to do empathy, they empathize with you, they'll be giving you some wrong advice. In life, you don't need third party in some things. Man, face it, is your life. Yeah, it has happened to you, man. Life happens. What do I do? I've fallen down. What do I do? I dust myself, clean my body, and I move on. I don't need you to start coming to tell me, you see, that guy from the onset, from the beginning, I've been seeing that guy with you. I know that guy is not good for you. That guy, I know his former girlfriend. Start giving you negative things about the person. Start showing negative seeds inside of you. They'll they'll make it even worse more than the way it was before. So I feel those third parties, those people coming to give empathy, you don't need them at all.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't need them. I would even suggest you could just talk people around you on a neutral ground. You guys discuss something different, talk about Nigeria, talk about things going on in social media, talk about something different.
Don't you think that?
I feel that he's better than.
Don't you think that when you do that, don't you think that when you try to do that, you are not really tackling the key matter? You are trying to, because to me, I see that as being shying away from the subject matter, shying away from what is really affecting you. You are shying away from it. It will come back. Oh.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? You use the word shy. You know, I'm not shying away. You know, I won't buy the score of that. I won't buy the idea of that shy away. I'm not shying away. Me, myself, and my spirit, my soul, and body will sit down together and we'll discuss it. What happened? Why did this thing happen? That's where the question of how, where, what.
But in all of this, don't you think you need guidance? In all of this, don't you think you actually need guidance? Because I believe that you need guidance.
No, for me, I don't think I need guidance. Wow. It has happened, right? And I sit down, I ask myself, why did this happen? What caused it? What happened? Then those lapses, those things that caused it, I will just amend those things. I'll make sure in my next relationship, such doesn't happen. That's what I feel. So I'm not in this club.
I will say this
to come and
hearing from you now. Advice. I just heard another new version for you. This, I will say, this is one of. But if it works for you, if you can handle it this way, everybody, the way they handle emotional matters differs. Some people, they might, at the first instance, it might work for them. But later on in life, it might not come out this good. That's where you see them crashing. That's where you see them falling victim again for the second time, because they disregard the place of guidance.
Okay, sorry. I want to ask a question. When you're having the first relationship, when you were in your relationship the first time, were they there with you? When you went to a sweet?
And
They were not there with you, right?
yes.
So it happened. It was you and somebody that went into a relationship that you guys were moving. Then something happened, right? And when it didn't happen, they're not there. They're not there. You're the one. You guys were the one working it out.
But
So then
sometimes,
why would they now come as referee, or why would they now come as counselors to come and
but
start telling you that it was because you didn't do this, because
that's why
you didn't play this wing. That was why it happened that way.
that's
I
why
don't believe in
two
that.
good heads is better than one.
Okay.
I still believe in that school of thought.
Okay.
Two good heads. I mean, good heads. So
Okay.
two good heads is better than one. That's why when there is guidance, the tendency for you to see things clearer that you didn't see before is there. So let's not deceive ourselves. So let's not deceive ourselves. You can deceive you can deceive yourself, but you cannot deceive the other person.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
get?
Okay. Okay.
And me, if there's anything I want to do in this life, is for me not to deceive myself.
Okay.
Because deceiving someone else is even better than you deceiving your own self.
Okay.
Because if you deceive yourself, you go deceive yourself, go for inside gutter.
Okay. Fine. Let's take it this way. I will accept. I will not underestimate the fact that we need
Guidance.
a counselor or guidance.
Yeah.
You understand? Fine. After they must have advised you, guide you, tell you some things, you go home and sit down, think about what they've said.
See,
you don't have to whatever they've
reason,
told you, accept it. You 100%. I'll do what
the
they say.
reason for this guidance,
You sit
the
down and
reason for
reason
this
to yourself
guidance
again.
is for you to come out, for you to totally come out of that place of hurt.
Okay.
So that even at your own leisure, if you think back in time, this was actually what I went through, it will not hurt again. Because many a times we don't even want, I don't want to think of it, because anytime I think about that thing, I'll always cry. There's never a time that is actually what you need. Think back in time. Cry all the cry where you won't cry. If you need to shout, shout. Have you been to a therapy session before? You will see where they will make them to talk to the point of crying. Some will even be screaming the house down. And that is actually what they need. They need all of that. So that when next they reflect to those times, it will not make anything to them, because they've gone through that session. That session, what that session does to you is to bring you out of it, is to burn out the hurts, is to burn out the pain that you had, the anger, the hatred. Because at times, when you even think that you are healed, if you hear the name of that person, you'll be like, "Oh, gosh, I don't even," whether the person dies does not concern you. That is not from a place of healing. That is from a place of grudge. So you have to heal, forgive, come out of every anger. That is when you can easily talk about it. That is when you can even see the person and it will not hurt. The sight of the person will not hurt you. Do you get? But by the time we box ourselves or we try to build tough skin, like, after all, I'm not going to die, I have to go to work, I have to eat, I have to do this, I have to do that. Yes, all of that have to go simultaneously.
Okay.
While you are trying to show up at work, while you are trying to perform, even while you are hurting, be sure that all the necessary therapies are in line. Go through them. Like I said, it is time. It is not something. Some people take long years, as in some people, it even takes them a lifetime. It takes them a lifetime. But what you just do is, by the time it's getting to that peak where you see that, okay, you are losing your mind. You're losing your mind.
Okay.
There is this therapy that these professional people put you through, that before you get to that level, you would have found out that you have come out of it. Like me, it works for me.
Okay.
Before I think to a point where I start getting depressed, something will just flash my mind and I'll see myself has come out of it.
Okay. I think for me, two things. One of those things that really play that major role for me is music. I'm somebody that loves music very well.
Music is good.
Man, I love music. I didn't like. I'm not misplacing words here. I don't like music. I love music. and all kinds of music. So it really plays a major role, in my life when I was going through that healing process. You understand? And also the aspect of that location I talked about also
Okay.
helped.
But
You understand?
this relocating that you're talking about, I love relocations in situations like this. But I want to say that relocating to a place where you really don't know anybody, does that work?
Yeah, I think before you relocate, you should know that okay, this place I'm going to, at least you should have, maybe you have relative there or you have
Okay, or
friends.
friends that
Yeah,
you
that
can
okay,
really,
that
that
you can even
get your
that you
back.
can relate, that you can talk to. Not that you're just going to a place that where you don't know anybody. I mean, if you are going to a place where you don't know anybody, then you are going from frying pan to fire. Understand? But when you go to a place where you have people, at times when you are home, you are watching movies, listening to music, and you are bored. You just okay, let me go and see Brother John, or let me go and see my friend. You just go to them, see them. You guys play together. Go to eatery, go eat, and just joke, and you guys while away time. With that, you come back home again, relax yourself, like that, like that, like that.
You're right. You're
Healing
actually right
yourself.
about that because I remember there were some times I used to take break from so many anxiety. I just want to go to a place where I could feel loved, where I know that I get a lot of attention, so many attentions, the attentions I needed at that time. So I go with you. Relocation plays a very big role there. So um I want to say that in this place whereby one is trying to like heal while still performing is something that we should look into. Let's not rush ourselves when trying to heal. And don't allow anybody pressure you. Don't allow the society pressure you. We live in a society whereby we are overly pressured. And many a times too, we give into pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
And you give into pressure. Don't allow yourself to be giving up just like that. Don't give in to pressure. When you are facing downtime, you are broken, you need healing, do well to go through your healings. It is nobody's healings but your healings. And be sure that you go through this process, forgive yourself, forgive your partner, and strive on. It is actually allowed. So, we have come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget to like, share, and comment all your experiences as well. We look forward to that. That always keep us going here. So till we see you
Bye.
next time
Okay.
on
Thank you.
TalkToMo.